Hey Blacksheep fans, today I'm going to be talking to you about a new piece of equipment I've added to my Airsoft collection, and that is the Novritsch fast attach suppressor system with the V3 tuning fork. Oh, I mean flash hider, okay? Yeah, I'll explain that tuning fork thing here in a minute. I've got it mounted on my Wolverine MTW. It's a Billet Series MTW, and it does a fair job of suppressing the sound, but it did not do the job that I expected it would. For those of y'all that are not familiar with the Novritsch system, the fast attached suppressor system, what it is it allows you the opportunity or the option of unscrewing the suppressor relatively quickly from your gun and having a flash hider behind it. So say you're working out in the woods, you're trying to be quiet, and now all of a sudden you're going CQB, and having a short gun is more important than having a quiet gun. You take that suppressor off, put it in your drop bag, and now you've got something shorter for maneuvering those tight corners with. In theory, it sounds like a great idea. In reality, maybe not so much. So let's take a look real quick at a few things to go on this. First, you can see the suppressor itself here, and it's not a bad looking suppressor. It does what it's supposed to do. You've got a button here you push in. That button allows you to unscrew it, and it takes about 1.5 complete revolutions to get it to go on and come off. Not terrible, heck of a lot less than trying to actually screw it on and off to the actual barrel of the gun, but it's still a bit more than Novritsch makes it look like when he does it on his website. Also, the screwing on and off is quite noisy. The off isn't so bad, but the on, when you do it, yeah, that's a really loud ratchet sound unless you're holding the button down. So don't think you're going to be sneaking into a building and then quietly adding this or taking it off. It's going to announce where you're at. How does it sound? Not terrible, not great. So I've got it on the gun here, and that's what it sounds like. It's softer, for lack of less sharp than the it is without it, but it's still pretty darn loud for a suppressed system. Now if I take this off and push my button, rotate, that's half a turn, that's a full turn, that's 1.5 turns, and now it's off. And you can see I've got my flash hider on it, but there's something funky about that flash hider. We're going to talk about that in just a second. When I fire it, it's a lot sharper sound. It is a little bit louder, but it is a lot sharper, and that sharpness I think is going to carry a fair bit as far as if you're trying to hide. That's going to carry through the woods a lot more than if you're taking and using your suppressor to try and soften it. It's not really making it a lot quieter. It's just, it's not as sharp. It's the only way I can lower pitch for it. But let's talk about this thing I got on the end of it. I've got a piece of gaffer's tape taped on the end of my brand new flash hider. And you ask, well, why on earth would you do something like that and make it ugly when the whole point of buying this system was to have a quiet, good-looking gun that you could easily transition to the other system? Well, I'm going to take off my gaffer's tape, and now I'm going to hold it in front of the microphone, and we're going to fire it again, and it's going to sound like this. You hear that high-pitched ring? Listen to it again. One more time. Yep, there's a high-pitched ring where when you take that tape off, it has turned that flash suppressor into a tuning fork. I originally thought something was wrong with my gun. I contacted Wolverine, and Wolverine said, we've never had that problem in MTW. Do you have a suppressor on it? And I said, yeah, I did. And I took the suppressor off to check to make sure everything was good. I fired it and realized that the sound was actually coming from the flash hider itself. If I take and put the suppressor back on quite noisily and fire it, it's softer. It is still there though. You can still hear that ring. So it kind of defeats the purpose. When you're trying to make a gun quieter and you're adding noise to it, it defeats the purpose. And I know somebody out there saying, well, have you talked to Novritsch about this? And the answer is absolutely. As soon as I figured out what it was, I emailed them, attached a video to the email showing them the problem and said, hey, what can we do about this? And the answer I got from a fellow named Max said, thank you for contacting our technical support. The ringing is caused by the vibration created from shooting. This is not a big shocker to me. This is not a malfunction and will not cause any issues. If you have any further questions, please contact us again. Max, what I would have really liked to say is, yeah, dude, that sucks. How about we swap it out for one of our other flash hiders so that it doesn't make that high-pitched ringing sound? And if they'd done that, I wouldn't be making any complaints here. But I can't say I'm particularly impressed with the technical support or the customer service I got out of Novrich's company on that one. Beyond that, if you want something to make your sound less sharp, give you the ability to transition from a suppressed to a shorter barrel, it's not a bad system. If you want something that's super sneaky squirrel quiet, you might want to look for something else. I think I'm going to try out the new hex suppressor that Longbow has on their website. I've heard a lot of good reviews on that one. People are telling me it's about the quietest thing out there, so that'll be my next try. Leave me a comment on the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. If there's another suppressor you've tried, or if you've tried any of their other tuning forks, flash hiders that they have come with it, and if you got the same problem out of them. I look forward to seeing you on the field and hearing your comments about this. Y'all have a great day.